It's not your usual horror movie with monsters lurking in the shadows or ghosts whispering from behind locked doors. No. This one is different. This one uses the cold, infinite expanse of space to make your skin crawl. Imagine this: you're in a spaceship, floating in the endless void of space, far from Earth. The darkness surrounds you. You look out the window, and all you see is more darkness. No stars, no planets, no sign of life. You're completely alone. Terrifying, right? But it gets worse. Way worse. Today, we're talking about Aniara, a cosmic horror movie that will chill you to the bone. Directed by Pella, Kågerman and Hugo, Lilja, this film takes everything we think we know about space and flips it on its head. It's not the stars that are dangerous here, it's the vast emptiness itself. Let's set the stage. Aniara begins with hope. We follow a woman named marooned, played by Emily Garbers, and hundreds of passengers escaping a dying Earth. They're on a luxury spaceship, heading to Mars. It feels like a fresh start. The people aboard are filled with excitement and optimism. They're escaping a planet that's falling apart, and Mars is their new hope. But then, something goes terribly wrong. A piece of space debris hits their ship, and suddenly, everything changes. They're thrown off course, and there's no way to get back. The crew and passengers are stranded. Alone. Lost. And space doesn't care. There's no help, no rescue mission, no way out. The spaceship drifts aimlessly through the vast emptiness. And what starts as a hopeful escape from Earth quickly becomes a nightmare. This is where the cosmic horror really kicks in. The true monster here isn't a giant alien or a space creature. No. The real terror is space itself. It's cold. It's infinite. And it's completely indifferent to human life. In most cosmic horror stories, we hear about creatures like Lovecraft's Cthulhu, massive, terrifying beings that lurk in the shadows. But Aniara doesn't go for that. Instead, it focuses on the horrifying truth of space. It's endless. It's unforgiving. And it's impossible to comprehend. Imagine being stuck out there. You can't see anything. You can't hear anything. You don't even know if there's anything out there. And that's what makes Aniara so terrifying. It's not about some big monster. It's about the slow, creeping realization that nothing matters. The characters lash out. They fight. They form cults. But nothing they do will change their fate. The inevitable is coming. They're going to die alone in the darkness of space, far from home. And no one can save them. As the movie unfolds, we watch the crew and passengers struggle with their hopelessness. They try to hold on to their humanity, but the longer they float in space, the more they lose themselves. Some of them go mad. Others turn to violence. Some even begin to worship the very thing that is destroying them, the infinite void. Their despair is heartbreaking, and it's all driven by one simple, terrifying truth: in space, no one can hear you scream. This is what cosmic horror is all about. It's not just the fear of the unknown. It's the fear of realizing that the universe is so much bigger than us, and we're nothing more than tiny specks lost in it. The horror comes from understanding how insignificant we are in the grand scheme of things. That's what makes Aniara so powerful. It doesn't just scare you with loud noises or creepy aliens. It takes you to the edge of your mind and makes you question everything. And then, just when you think it couldn't get worse, it does. The hopelessness in Aniara is so deep, it's almost suffocating. There's no escape. The characters can't run. They can't fight. They can't hide. The film is a brutal reminder of how small we are in the grand universe. And in space, that's a terrifying thought. As the film progresses, the characters begin to lose hope. They try to survive, but it's clear that their fate is sealed. And what's worse, they start to accept it. They become numb to their own suffering. The madness and despair spread like a virus. Some of them start to do unspeakable things. Others just give up completely. There's no way to fight space. There's no way to fight the inevitable. But here's the thing about Aniara: it's not just a movie. It's an experience. It forces you to think about what you would do if you were in their shoes. Would you fight for your life? Would you try to find meaning in the endless darkness? Or would you just accept that there's nothing out there for you, that your time has come? The film doesn't give you answers. It doesn't give you hope. It just leaves you with the cold, brutal truth: we're all just passengers on this tiny spaceship, floating through the void. And one day, we'll all be lost in it. So, why is Aniara such an incredible cosmic horror film? Because it doesn't just rely on cheap scares. It doesn't rely on monsters or jump scares. It relies on something much deeper: the fear of our own insignificance. It taps into the primal fear we all have, the fear of being alone, lost, and forgotten in a universe that doesn't care. It's a fear that's not just terrifying, it's mind-breaking. And that's what makes it so effective. It gets under your skin. It makes you feel small. It makes you feel helpless. And when the movie ends, you don't just walk away from the screen. You carry that fear with you. It sticks with you. It haunts you. So, if you're looking for a horror movie that will really make you think, if you want something that will truly chill you to the bone, then Aniara is a must-watch. But be warned. Once you step into its dark, endless void, you may never look at space the same way again. It's not the monsters that should scare you. It's the nothingness. The cold, empty, infinite nothingness. And that's exactly what makes Aniara one of the most haunting cosmic horror films out there. And now, I want to hear from you. Have you seen Aniara? How did it make you feel? What part of the movie really shook you to the core? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you haven't seen it yet, well, maybe it's time to face the void yourself. Thanks for watching, and remember the universe is bigger than you think. And it doesn't care.